Hey family, it's Tasha, MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel where we just talk about preparedness. We talk about different things that are happening in the world. Really, we just talk about what me and my family are working on, thinking about, and hopefully that helps you and yours. So today, get your drink, pull up. I've got Papa Bear's cup actually today. I just grabbed it and went. So today I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Seeing a huge uptick in the conversation of COVID, COVID testing, mask mandates, other various mandates, increase in cases, increase in hospitalizations, yada, yada, yada. Now, not only am I seeing an uptick in just, hey, you need to be aware this is happening. There's an uptick of cases, yada, 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 right? In the media. Of course, that's what they're going to push. Of course, it's right before fall is about to hit. So yes, like, is that a normal thing? Yes, I'm not surprised at that at all. Talked about that a few weeks ago, actually, when we started seeing more of these articles, if you will, pushing the same thing about, hey, there's an uptick, there's an uptick, there's an uptick, there's a new variant, there's an uptick, whatever, right? Now, what is happening now is more of this delivery system and discussion about not necessarily lockdowns from the media, but this discussion that mandates might need to come back, that masks might be a good idea to have, that, hey, there's an increase and you might want to stay away from people. And there's also, because this is being pushed, now there's an increase in people just testing, right? There's a lot more conversations of people like, oh, I got tested for work today, or, oh, they're back to testing, or, hey, I saw an article the other day about some company in California, they're making their people wear masks again. And it's like, this has been already scientifically proven that masks do not help, right? And if anything, they make a lot of other issues arise and problems come up that are not good for us, right? Health-wise. And so it's really annoying. Now, for those of us that have been highly paying attention to this since before it really started, or before it started, when it wasn't normal, right? People weren't really talking about it yet, right? It hadn't hit the national media, right? Before that, those of us that have a critical eye were already kind of watching this and seeing this creep up and like, hey, this is starting to creep up. A lot of dialogue. What I'm talking about right now is like tenfold in Europe, right? And the discussion part of it and pushing it and testing and mandates and this and that. And so we know typically when things happen other places, it's just a matter of time before it makes it here. Now, I know a lot of people are like, we're not going to do it. We're not going to comply. We're not going to do it. This is the thing that you have to think about with preparedness, with pandemics, with what they're pushing, agendas, all this stuff. It's two things that we're really fighting. And that's the compliance battle, the battle of complying, not complying, not just being sheep and doing what they tell us to do and put in our bodies what they tell us to put in our bodies. So there's the compliance aspect of it, but then there's also the health aspect. And the health aspect needs to be paid attention to. A lot of times people ignore the health part of it because of the compliance part, right? Like, I did not comply, I will not comply, I will continue to not do that. My children are not vaccinated for this vaccine, right? For many, many years, my children were vaccinated, right? And so you have that piece of it, right? But you have a lot of, there's just a lot more swirling around the vaccine, whether it was safe to take, whether it was not. And this is coming from a whole side of people who took it, right? And took their boosters and did what they were told. And so you have a large part of the population that maybe complied before that won't comply now. And so things are going to have to look a little different. But I think a lot of that reliance is they're relying on the sheep. They're relying on those companies, those people that fell in line, those people that are going to continue to fall in line. For example, that place in California that, nobody federally or public health, or nobody officially, no entity told them, hey, you should tell your company to start masking up again. No, they made somebody at the top of that food chain in that business, that company decided that that was the way to go, that maybe they're seeing an increase of people calling out sick for COVID or whatever the case may be, and they made the decision, or maybe they're making the decision off of what they're seeing on the media, that, hey, there's an uptick and they want to get ahead of it. And they're going to make their people, wear masks. And so I don't think that we necessarily have to, this time around, be so like, oh, the government's going to be pushing this stuff, pushing these mandates. I think that the damage has been done, and that there's a lot of people out there that still believe this stuff is good, still believe mandates are good, still believe certain things are beneficial for the public, for the good of the people, right? And they're going to just fall in line and say, oh, well, this is what we were told last time, so this is what we're going to do this time. Like testing. I seen a feed the other day, somebody's like, why are people testing? And it's true. Why are you testing? Like, who cares? It's flu. We never got tested for flu and stuff unless, of course, you're super, super bad. You go to the hospital, you're like, what's wrong with me? They start testing and they're like, oh, it's flu, or it's pneumonia, or it's this, right? And then, yes, at the same time, like COVID's here for good, you guys. That's like flu stuff, right? It's like, you're going to have to deal with that. And so why are we testing? Plus, let me not get down the rabbit hole of what's on the testing stick and that you're shoving that up your nose and what that's doing to your body. And so you need to be thinking about these things and opening your eyes and not just following in line. And the important part here is two things. First is compliance. So draw your line in the sand and understand what you're going to do and not do this time around, right? No matter what you did last time, what are you going to do this time around? Because it's coming, okay? They're ramping it up. I thought they would ramp us up for something new, which they did a little bit, right? They spun us up about, oh, there's going to be a pandemic 2.0. It's going to be scary. We're not going to know. We're not going to see it coming. It's going to be more dangerous. People are going to get in line because guess what? It's going to be 10 times crazier than COVID. And we're not going to have to tell people to get in line. It's going to be bad. It's going to be devastating, right? So they're spinning us up for this, supposed, pandemics, these what did they use the word? Not secret. What was the word? The wording that they used was, it was going to be, I can't remember right now. So starts with the S. But anyway, that they were going to spin up these pandemics, right? And that they were going to happen. They were going to be, a surprise pandemic, right? Just weird, right? And not from a scientific thing like, hey, this could happen to us again, yada, yada, yada. Not from that. Just basically at least warning us, hey, this is coming down the pipeline, which they warned us about COVID as well, right before it happened. So it's not good. It's creepy is really what it is, right? But you have to know now, compliance, that it's going to get really bad. And what's crazy is they're spinning up COVID again, and it's like, okay, I thought they were going to kind of be done with this. They're going to move on to the next pandemic, the next surprise, the next whatever they got for us. But now they're spinning this up. Now, are they spinning this up to do some sort of thing because elections are coming? How can they play this into elections? Yada, yada, yada. I don't know, right? Not really sure. And I don't know why I keep saying yada, yada, yada all of a sudden in this video, because now it's starting to annoy me. I've done it like 3 or 4 times now. So sorry about that. Not sure. Now that it's in my vocabulary, it just keeps coming out. So anyway, I digress. So compliance, what are you going to do? What are you going to say no to? Round 2, you thought you were safe with your jobs or whatever. Round 2's coming. Mentally get ready for it. Spiritually get ready for it. The other thing is health. You can't ignore health, right? You can't just spin up so much about you're testing and the test is bad and they're spinning us up and the vaccine's bad and they're trying to. You need to worry about the other stuff too, because they're attacking us from all types of sides, right? We're so worried about the vaccine. They're sticking this stuff in meat. They're sticking this stuff in our vegetables. They're sticking this stuff in our fruits, and we're still buying it. And we're like, I won't comply. And then yet you're doing this stuff that they want you to do. You're still getting this stuff in your body. So you need to pay attention to your surroundings when it comes to other delivery methods and other things are doing. Stuff they put in front of us, right? Big flashy stuff they put in front of us so that we don't see the stuff coming in the back door. Think about that. They are ramping this up. I don't think we have to be worried about this. It's what's coming in the back door, okay, that I'm worried about. Second thing is the health thing. You need to be concerned with the problems that you and your family came across the last time, right? What were the struggles? What were the issues? What was the hard times, the things that were difficult for you? Was it simply having toilet paper? Was it simply having different soaps, antibiotics? What was it that was a struggle for you guys, right? Was it the services and being able to go and get help and get services? Like, what was it? And then what can you do now to prepare for that stuff so that you can, one, take care of yourself, two, you're stockpiled up with stuff. You have food, you have water, you have meds, you have the different things that you need when somebody is sick, when you have a cold, right? What do you have in your homemade pharmacy? What do you have ready to go? When somebody gets sick, what kind of stuff do you want when you're sick, right? That make you feel good. Soup, blankets, heating pads, ice pads, cold medicines, right? Throat sprays, all the different things that you want, right? That make you feel good. Get stockpiled on those things. Do not get caught with it, essentially our pants down. A lot of people got caught not ready to go. And we talk about this all the time about how the average person is not prepared, is not ready. And this is something so simple that the average family should be ready for somebody to be sick in your house and to be able to take care of it. You shouldn't be like, oh, they're sick, let me go to the store and get medicine, or let me go to the store and get a heating pad, or let me go to the store and get this or that. You should have that stuff. We get sick, people get sick. And so that's stuff you should have. If you're into the holistic stuff, man, baby, get stockpiled on your fire cider. I need to make another batch myself. Keep making that stuff, holistic stuff. Keep making your headache medicines, your different stuff that you make stockpile on whatever it is you do that makes your family unique, that makes you unique. Get that stuff and stockpile it and get ready and get ahead of the health issues. Can you research other phenomenons that could happen, other pandemics that could happen that they've warned us against, right? Smallpox, they've warned us about. Marburg, different things that they've warned us about. SARS. Look at those symptoms and give the things for those symptoms. Upset stomach, diarrhea, vomiting, fatigue, all the other little symptoms that happen with a lot of this stuff. Get that medicine, over-the-counter medicine for that. Get some antibiotics from JASE Case. You can still do that. I've got the link in my description box below. You can go to JASE and get your antibiotics. JASE Medical actually has a new thing. We haven't done it yet. I've been meaning to do it for my husband. But they have a daily case now where you can actually, if you take every day chronic medicine, right? High blood pressure, diabetes medicine, cholesterol medicine, whatever your everyday medicine, chronic medicine is, you have a prescription, you can actually go there and get a 12-month supply of prescribed medications from them. So we had antibiotics you can get from them, so you can get antibiotic kits from them, but you can now get daily kits. It's called a daily JASE kit that you can get from them as well. So I urge you, go to the website, check out the different cases they have, get your antibiotic kits. You can get an antibiotic kit for every adult that's in your house. You can get the prescription meds for every person in your house that has prescription meds, everyday prescription meds, and talk to them and get your medications and get your backups. It is extremely important too, because there's all sorts of other things that pop off that we have to be concerned about when a pandemic happens, right? You have to be concerned of, can you go to work? Can you still make money? Can you do things? Can you take care of yourself medically? Maybe hospitals close down. Maybe hospitals are overran. All these different things that, you are used to going out and getting services for. Are you ready to then do that stuff on your own? When people ask me, some people ask me sometimes, do you think another lockdown's going to come? I don't think an actual lockdown's going to come. I think that if a lockdown comes, it's going to be because something is introduced that is so nasty and so horrible and so horrific and has such a high death rate that they don't have to tell people to stay home. People are going to stay home because the death rate is so high. It's insanity, and you're just crazy to be. There's not going to be no Ebola parties to catch Ebola. You know what I mean? Like COVID, like they just don't even add up. They're not the same, right? Marburg going around, smallpox. People aren't out and about trying to catch that like it was cute, right? For COVID, it's a totally different ball game, and so they won't have to. The real struggle, the real problem is going to be: are you ready for it in regards to your everyday life? Do you have your things? The world stops as far as supplies. We know this. If a major pandemic comes our way, when it comes our way, because they've already threatened us, when that comes our way, people are going to be down for the count. So there's not going to be supplies. There's not going to be UPS and Amazon and all this stuff like, oh, we'll just deliver it to your door. Again, it's not going to be cute like COVID. COVID was the extra, with the test run, right? It wasn't crazy. Wait till it's crazy and see what happens. That is what you're preparing for. You are preparing for stores to be empty, for there to not be food, for there to not be water, for you to be scared enough that you don't want to leave your house anyway. Ain't nobody got to tell you to not leave when there's a 50% fatality rate on a pandemic. Nobody's going to do that. But are you ready for that? Okay. Do you have the things in your house, everyday things, right? Because again, you're not going to be able to just order stuff. Do you have enough soap and different things, hygiene stuff, all the different things, right? Listen, baby, this is not good. It's not going away. Is it concerning that there's an uptick in conversation? Sure. But really, I'm worried about the back door. And you should be worried about the back door too, right? And to be worried about when the worst thing is introduced to us, whenever that is, okay? And hope that we see the signs, folks like us, folks like you and I, that are creative thinkers and kind of see things a little bit early, that we're able to see those signs, right? And that, of course, we lean on God during all of it, right? I mean, he's got us. This is not no video for fear, to scare you. Hopefully it's to just get a little fire under you to understand that ain't nobody care about us, right? They do not care about us. They are going to bring something to us, to your home. Oh, we care about the American people. They're going to bring something to the American people that is going to be detrimental, right? And we are going to see horrific numbers in death. And it's not going to be good. And this little warning of, oh, there's an uptick and there's 300 cases today of COVID. Nobody cares. People die every single day from flu. Do you guys understand that the numbers for flu is insane? And we never talk about that. You know why? Because it's normalized. Flu is just, we know that it's here to stay. And yes, people are going to die from it. There's deaths that happen from the flu every single day, every single year. Take a look at the stats. This was an argument during the COVID pandemic. People were like, oh, more people die from flu. And then, of course, people were coming in like, no, they don't. But we know those COVID numbers were inflated. We know they were inaccurate. And we've been doing flu stats for decades, okay? People die from flu. Hundreds of thousands of people a year. It's crazy, right? But we know it's here to stay and we can't do anything about it. So COVID is the same. It's here to stay. We have to deal with it. And unfortunately, there's no trust. So any kind of medicine you come out talking about to help you with it, whatever, nobody's trusting of that. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. You can keep that over there, sir, because we want no parts of it. Okay. So I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. I hope you guys are doing the things, get the things you need, fill the holes, think about this in this area and get it done. Okay. So I will see you guys next time on the next video. Take care. Have a great weekend.